What's good, everybody? It's Amon-Rellik, the God Slayer. Amon-Rellik Gaming. We are back in more Final Fantasy 14. We have reached a point into the story. If you guys watched the last previous episode here, we just got through talking with the legatus of the first legion of the Guardian Empire. We are here in this subway station. This abandoned subway station where he has held up the survivors, some soldiers, some civilians, and we had a conversation on basically equality and the possibility of ending this war. And as you guys if you remember my talk at the end of that episode, while we were saying, look, we know that there will always be war amongst peoples, the very least we could do is try our best to make sure that the best of us, that the best in us reigns supreme as long as it can, to make war as rare an occurrence as utterly possible amongst all peoples, right? Is that not a good thing to strive for as an entire world of peoples, right? To be able to try and live in peace for as often and for as long as utterly possible amongst us all. What nobler goal could there be for a people, right? And then to have the legatus say, and mind you, he made a great rebuttal when he said that if you believe in peace so much, then why did you reject the Garleans' unification in the name of peace? Right? Why did you reject our version of it then? Because it would have been peace all under one flag. But it would have been peace through domination, peace through power. Now, it was a great rebuttal because it was the idea of saying, it was a rebuttal that was based on the idea that you don't truly want peace. You just want, you don't truly want the idea of peace no matter what. You just want, you want peace based on your ideal of it. So it's like peace as long as it caters to what I want, because he basically said that, the reason why you didn't was because we didn't worship your gods, we didn't have your faith, the things that we held dear, you didn't, so because of that, you didn't take our peace, you rejected our peace. And so it made a very compelling argument in the sense that the peace you want isn't perfect, yet you're coming here trying to convince us to accept your peace when you all rejected our version of peace. And again, it was a good rebuttal all the way up until the idea that it's the kind of peace he was speaking of. This peace through domination, this peace through force and power. And that's the reason why I was like, my warrior of light would have cleaved through all those men in that room. The moment they drove their swords like that, I would have cleaved through them all and looked this man in the eye and say, this is the peace that you're talking about. Your rhetoric is what caused all these men to just die just now. Because you believe in peace through power. But what peace is there? I just slaughtered your men. This damn subway cart is full of blood and bodies and pain and suffering and loss. Because you believe that peace should be won this way. That peace should be won through the domination of others. When honestly, I am the personification of that possibility. As the warrior of light, you are a slayer of gods. There's very little on this planet that could stop you. And what makes you the warrior of light is that while you have this ability to bend the world to your whim, you don't use it that way. You instead try to use it to keep the world as peaceful as possible even though we know the condition of men is to one day war with each other, that peace is a matter of trying to mitigate disparity as much as possible. But we know that we'll never be able to completely eliminate it. So there will always be the chance, and there will always be the inevitability that one day war will happen amongst men. But it's the idea that if we can strive to make that as rare an occurrence as possible amongst our lifetime and amongst the span of our existence, there's no nobler goal for life to have than to the ability to prolong it and make it as peaceful and as fulfilling as possible. And so, even as a destroyer that your character is, the fact that he fights, or he or she fights for that principle, is what separates them from someone equally as powerful as us, like Xenos. That's what separates us. It's what we choose to use this world dominative power for. And it's like, you want peace through power, peace through domination. Look at what this peace, it's a peace built on the bodies of many. And while yes, no peace is won without some form of war, the idea is, why would we compound the bodies? Why must we have to compound the bodies? Why must the bodies of our, why must the hill in which peace sits upon be any larger than it has to be, when it can be just a few bodies? Why must it be millions? You see what I mean? And so it's like, it was one of those things where I was like, man, my warrior of light would have shown him through blood. Because again, lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. It would have been a lesson in blood that this is the kind of future you're talking about when you spit that kind of rhetoric out of your mouth. Not saying that you're not right, in the sense that peace can never be true peace can never be truly obtained. There's no such thing of true peace being obtained while there is even an inch of disparity amongst people. That is true. That is objectively true. But at the same time, you are instead, because of that, because you can't have it completely all the way perfect, you're instead just choosing to the worst possible way to go about bringing peace. And that is through just utter domination of others. Like, that was a very good conversation between, and then on top of that, to show the darker part of his rhetoric as well. And if you really want to look at it, this man placed shock collars on 2 children as a means to control me, because he knew he couldn't control me. So he instead had them placed on 2 children. And so if I do anything wrong in this place, or if I step out of line to him, these 2 will have to pay for it. So it's a manipulative tactic. It's a manipulative tactic as well. So it's like, these are the kind of tools that you're using. It's like, for all of his grandiose talks and for all of his good points, you can see the dark flaws and the Empire's way to peace. You can see them, All right, let's keep going. That's enough of my rambling. I'm sorry. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others? Or was that merely a ruse? I'm over here trying to pour my drink while I'm talking. We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision? Oh, see, Alphino always got to say a little bit more than he probably should in times like these. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch one of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shot calls will be the last of your worries, understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But don't forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphenor and Alice will pay the price. I still can't use this damn thing. Alright, let's talk to the people here. It's you, Amon-Rellik. I served under Lord Gaius of the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Considering that you know what I'm capable of, I doubt, maybe her hate is just, yeah. Maybe her hate's just that deep. So cold. Marcellinus, I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face by the blood of our fallen compatriots. I swear I'll... Tore the suitors. All the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. If it wasn't for the third bleeding us, Regilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life. But we made our escape. Took shelter in the mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell, and we gathered around the radio. In the roar of the terrible war, the capital was in chaos. But we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact with body broken, soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer. Decimus, boy. Man, his name was Decimus. You came with Julius, didn't you? But whatever business brought you here, you best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated. But I'd rather you didn't mess with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, 4 Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though it comes at a cost of its normal function. Any other people to talk to? Flavius. Look at that, Flavius, boy. Been a minute since I seen you, Flavius. That was from another game, you know. Flavius from another game, you know. Okay, that's it. All right, let's go talk. Let's go. Sirius Radio. Same model as the one using the Victor spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. All right. Alpha, no. Did you learn anything of note? And your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at great risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at the present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. You help me tend to them. This is Flavius. Why did I have a feeling that we was going to go back in here and this is Flavius? Why did I have a feeling that you were going to be the one that we assist? I don't know what I'm doing to you, but I'm doing stuff to you. Here you go. I can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight in my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. These guys are, yeah, they are resigned to die. To those who meant fair no better, I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver a surprise. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize that they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Euless could persuade him. So we need to persuade Euless first. Euless. Hey, yo, Euless. Seen enough? No, we ain't seen enough. We barely have enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any other supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept, some stored away in the event we were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. You can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at this. Like, We can hold on a little longer. The situation is sure to change. Your empire lies in ruins, dude. There's a huge ass demonic tower standing in the middle of the capital. What are you talking about? I'm telling you. One of our scouts spotted a man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Talafaroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Talafaroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. Do you understand? Anybody that gets near that shit will be tempered. Like, yo, how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we'll bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. Did he agree to it? Nope. He will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well, after all, many hands make light work. You lot of more trouble than you're worth. Once we're outside, you'll follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Okay. So even in the face of an existential threat, this motherfucker still is more concerned about us being his enemies. Alright. Alice say, Alf, no, don't worry. I got y'all. Ain't nothing for the happen to y'all. Julius finds himself in the somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. We'll begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Solius, a park to the southwest of this station. Northwest. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Oh boy. This dude is, boy, these yeah. These motherfuckers here, boy, I swear. Talk about hard-headed. Even in the face of reason, hard-headed. Fuck you. I'm going to go get this. Garmall looked like it might have been actually very, very nice before all this happened. So this is the part. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Galvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time in case something has been overlooked. I see. And with your permission, we will commence the search. Alright, so now we gotta search for ceruleum. Closer inspection of the wreck has confirmed that the fuel canisters were all been since string on ceruleum. Contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. I don't know, this thing could turn into a war machine? What? This Garlemald or something else. You know that? Garlemald or something else. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be ceruleum. Some points of interest are located on the map of Forum Solaris. The pond, children's play areas, to your knowledge, however, none will require the use of cerulean. Okay. Yeah, any luck? There's no sign of any cerulean. Probably surprising. Disappointing nonetheless. It'll help me notice engage into the pond. Something the matter. Yes, I mean, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over. So, like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done. Every time. And every time when we get home, Mother would scold us. Say we'd catch our death walking around like that. Pond was heated. Was the cerulean powered heater by chance? I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was some long time ago when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. I can't see a thing and can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. At a wager, it's still unbearably cold though. What are your thoughts on magic? The average Guardian would jump out of their skin if they saw it. But the first has a few foreign signiferi and medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. I also know as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, blast a verifier should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed cerulean from a frozen lake, like it appears the tape was doing. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up afterwards. That's insane. Fancy a dip? A little friendly competition might make this a little interesting. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg. So I dare say we both smell like rotten eggs when this is over. We found it. And retrieve a cerulean tank. Comes at a great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and the rancid odor emanating from every inch of your body. But doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose. The hell? Did you find it? I hope you did. That's it. And there's still some ceruleum left. Fire's still not ready. Hold on. I'll give off another hand. Call me an Uldan, because by fire I am reborn. And my clothes are mostly dry now. Call me an Uldan, because by fire I am reborn. And my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum. I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still the envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, you would be most displeased. The concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. You mentioned coming here. It's raining in this cold ass place. I know it's cold. You mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. He lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you can imagine, so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal. Family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights and all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song. Happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, ice would melt, and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we climbed to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Rooftops are rubble. Friends dead. Those memories. If I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. Just need to hold on a little longer. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it right here, and in the next one, we're gonna continue on with Euless. He's gave us a glimpse of what Garlean was like, what Garlemald was like before before the wars and before all of this. The next one we're gonna talk to him again and see what we can continue to do to help these guys. I'm Amon-Rellik the Godslayer. I'm Amon-Rellik Gaming. We're out.